Everybody, welcome to the Ticket Swap Hideout. I'm very grateful to have you here on a bright and sunny Friday morning. I think it's the third day of ADE, so maybe you're pushing yourself a little bit to get out of bed. I don't know. I did not go out partying, but I'm still exhausted. It's been a lot. But yeah, thanks for coming very much. So the talk this morning, we're hosting now my friend. I will call you my friend. Nicola Rinaldi, who is the founder of Tropikali Festival. He's also the founder of a few other parties in Amsterdam. And there's a few reasons why I asked him if he wanted to come. I wanted to show off Tropikali. I'm a huge fan myself. Also because it has a bit of a unique story of how Tropikali came to be. It's now been around for 2 years, and I think it's a nice story to share. Also for event organizers, if there are any of you here in the room, how to really grow a festival from nothing into really something. Amsterdam is a huge competitive market for festivals. If you live here, you know that there are literally hundreds every summer. So it's very saturated, and to make your festival stand out is it's a tough job, I have to say. So, Nicola, thank you for coming.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Anthony, for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you give a little bit of intro of your background, where you're from, and how you came to live in Amsterdam?
Yes, I have a presentation for this. First of all, thank you all for coming. I hope you're enjoying ADE. For those who went out last night, I will try to speak not too loud so you can keep sleeping.
And I'm the American one, so I'll be real loud. Good morning! No.
So I'm gonna give you a little introduction about me. I'm Nicola Rinaldi. I'm a designer.
If I'm in the way, I can also just I can just F off. So.
I'm a designer, digital director. I'm from Italy. I live in Amsterdam since about 8 years. I still don't speak Dutch, but I do understand klein beetje. So this is me basically, and but I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this together with a special person, who is this guy. It's Diederik Broekhausen. He's my partner in life and also a partner in business. Diederik has a company in social media. His company is called The Best Social, and is also a blog, and they're organizing an awards for best practice, best content in social media. So together we joined the forces, and we started doing this festival 2 years ago. But we are in the business since quite a while because we've been doing also parties, and I will tell a little bit more later. So together we did a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna.
I thought that was the only one who did that with my voice. Okay.
No, you're not the only one.
You're those guys.
So I'm gonna show you a little 30 seconds edit of Tropikali to give you a little bit idea what the festival is about. Who has been to Tropikali this year or the past year? Okay, quite a few people. So let's watch this. Okay, so Tropikali is in the industrial area in north of Amsterdam. So there was also a challenge to transform industrial area into something more tropical. Our mission was to create a festival to celebrate cultural diversity. We feel like there was something missing, especially if you in the LGBT scene and the gay scene. There's a lot of parties celebrate sexual diversity, but maybe it's not enough celebrating the cultural diversity. Especially in a city like Amsterdam, we want something that reflects Amsterdam as a city that hosts more than 180 nationalities. That was, I think, is a nice way to do. So we go against the current. It's open for everyone, but not standard. And we celebrate all cultures, music, styles, and sexualities, with a focus on tropical, Latin, Balkan, European, and Middle Eastern beats. But of course, all sounds and flavors are welcome. Our mission, we want to show a multicultural society, and that we want to show up that multicultural society enriches our lives by offering a vibrant, positive, euphoric celebration at the NDSM Ward, which is industrial area in north of Amsterdam. So this is a little bit was our the way we started thinking of Tropikali, and this is the identity for the first year and the second edition. Especially in 2018, we wanted to incorporate these ingredients. So the Middle Eastern and Balkan music can be seen on the first one, on the guy on the left. And then we also wanted to have like tropical elements like birds and the guy in the orange one, but also an eye on the, like a connection to Amsterdam, to the Netherlands. So that's why the guy is holding a bicycle wheel. The second year, we wanted to be a little more flourish, more, very festive, very positive. And we were playing a little bit with this idea of roughness and softness, which is a little bit like the red thread throughout our festival. There was also, I will tell you a little bit, there was also like a fan who started creating an Instagram face filter based on our artwork. It was really nice to see how our fan picked it up, like how responded to this. This to give you a little bit the idea of what happened. So we're like, we were super blessed with the weather. We had a really terrible weather forecasting during that time. And then on that day, the sun was shining, so we were totally blessed by the weather god. We also had a little bit of rain, but it was part of a little bit of the fun of the tropical experience. You can see everybody seems to be enjoying the party and good, positive vibes. So we're really happy with the result.
It was okay.
Just to give you an idea of the growth, we started with 700 visitors the first year in 2018. This year we had 3,000 visitors, and for next year, we're aiming for 4,500, 5,000. That would be our goal. So still a lot of work to do. Tropikali is actually a combination of two existing parties that we've been doing for a while. One is Rosario, the other one is Kalinista. So they both have their own stages at the festival. The third one is not a party, it's a stage that we introduced this year because we want to add even more diversity, especially in the lineup. So I'm gonna talk a little bit one by one. I'm just gonna explain a little bit about these parties. The first one is Rosario. It is happening in the Wonder Park, which is the famous park in the middle of Amsterdam. And there's this weird round building, which used to be like a tea house. And this started as our idea was a party that would be more like a day party where people can socialize. So a lot of parties focus on the day, on the nightlife, techno, house, this kind of stuff. Music, of course, is also important for us, but we want to more focus on the aspect of gathering, socializing, talk to each other, meet new people, and being outside. This is just to give an idea about the party. This was this year. It starts, in the past 3-4 years, it became also a classic Sunday Pride. So on a Sunday, if you with a hangover and stuff, you just go, big sunglasses, you start with the first drink, and then the second one, then slowly you get into the mood. Music-wise, we play tropical Latin house with like electronic influences. This is what happened this year. You were there too, right?
I'm always there. And I'm always bringing like 50 people with me. The thing about Rosario is that it's, we call it...
Also diversity in type of fruits and flowers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Everybody's welcome.
No, but it's sort of the unofficial closing party for Pride because it happens on the Pride weekend, the day after the big parade, and everybody, like you said, is hungover. The nice thing about putting a bunch of gays in the daylight is that you can see who you're with last night. You don't know what they look like. The next day you're like, oh, Jesus. No, but it's super chill. I brought my parents there. They had a blast. So it's a really diverse party that you can really let anybody enjoy. It's super. It's really unique in Amsterdam, I think.
And to say that Anthony always stands out at Tropikali, Rosario party because he always puts a lot of effort in his outfit.
I make a new outfit for everyone. That's true. And I'm not on any of your photos.
You are.
I'm joking.
All right, let's continue. The second part is Kalinista. So Kalinista is it's a celebration of it's like a musical journey from Slovenia to Lebanon. This is our tagline, and all the countries in between. We wanted to party that can focus on this kind of music, like up-tempo music, from Slovenia to Lebanon, that a lot of countries have in common. So this kind of rhythm, up-tempo, it's considered a little bit like a pop kind of music from these countries, and it started as because we were missing something like this, and because we do like this kind of music, and that's how Kalinista started. Just to give you an idea of some faces, kind of what we do for promotion. A lot of people compared Kalinista like a sort of like a Turkish wedding, this kind of vibes, very sweaty, steamy, and positive. Also the way people was dancing, and also we wanted to give a place where a lot of people can call home, especially in this time with immigration. There's a lot of negativity, and there's a lot of people who really feel home because they can hear the songs from their countries. The third one, as I said, is not a party; it's a stage. We started this year. It was an experiment. We liked the concept of having 6 hours stage where every hour we change completely. We change DJ, we change flags, decorations, act, and we started, for example, from with an hour of Dutch music. Yes, you can also have good Dutch music, and we moved to an hour of K-pop, which was really hysterical, and we closed with an hour of Brazilian music, which turned the stage into sort of like a carnival. It was really shocking to see people who have nothing to do maybe with Korean pop music singing along, like really singing the songs and knowing the lyrics.
And I'll throw this in. Our own ticket swapper, DJ Dan, was also one of the DJs for this stage, which was really awesome. There was a bunch of us who got to go see him. So we had an hour of Colombian music. We had Brazil, as I said. We had Italian and Spanish. So it was really nice atmosphere. Also because it was this kind of like a rough container stage facing the water, so it was really, really nice atmosphere. And we treated like a little bit like a secret stage where we didn't really promote it so much. You had to go through a little bit of like behind the fences, and then you will see this stage. This is a little bit that's it for now. What I have prepared so far. There will be some Q&A later, so if you guys have some questions. Maybe we can start. Yeah, sure. I wanted this to be a bit of a dialogue because I want Nico to tell also the story how this really came to life. So the last year, when you started the first Tropikali, like you said, it was a culmination of the two parties that you guys have been organizing. How did you get into party organizing in the first place?
We started by going out and seeing like that something was missing. Like, we personally think there was something missing there. That was a little bit the trigger, like what's missing in Amsterdam scene, what we would like to, how would be the party that we would like to go with our friends. And that's how it started, basically, especially Kalinista started something like little party with our group of friends and having fun, and then later we extended to the rest of the people. Yeah.
And to get that started, the friends I know you have a lot of friends who are DJs, for instance, or in the nightlife. Does that help? I mean, you need to get your foot in the door and say, hey, I need a venue. I need to take my concept to a place where I can. It's more than just creating a Facebook group, right?
Yeah. First time, for example, we were not really happy with the first venue, so we had to change venue. So you need to go through a process of, finding your what works for you, and then you work with your network, with group of friends can always help. It's not that easy. I mean, at the beginning, you need to go through a process of finding what works for you.
Yeah, understood. Now, getting to Tropikali itself, the first year I think you had about 1,750, something like that.
Yeah.
You were on the NSM next to the Noordlicht. And the first year, I think I was also there. It was a bit of a cloudy day, but people were having a lot of fun. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect, and then when they got there, I only saw a lot of smiles. It was super chill. I also know that even though it is sort of a focus on the LGBTQ community, I think there were lots and lots of straight people there having a blast. They didn't feel out of place or anything like that. What were some of your biggest highlights from that first year that you just go, oh, I was so proud of this moment?
Well, that's really, actually, we also didn't know what to expect. That was a big surprise for us too, as the first edition. One of the highlights is for sure seeing people having a good time and seeing how everything comes together. Because as a first edition, we didn't know what to expect. We were lucky with the weather, even though it was cloudy, sunny. It was
dry.
It was dry, but at least it wasn't raining. So one of the highlights is definitely people having good time, good weather, and also seeing how the music works. I mean, music-wise, we were really happy with our lineup. Yeah,
awesome. Okay, now let's get to the dark side. What are a couple of things that you really thought like, oh Jesus, this is not okay, or I don't know. I think you had some stress moments from the first Tropikali. Is there something that could be a learning experience for anyone else who's getting into event organizing?
Yes, definitely. We had to face reality, but like we had good ideas and what we wanted, like a vision, but. Reality check is that we didn't have experience with organizing parties, so that was a little bit the dark side, and we didn't know maybe at the beginning that you need the right person and maybe you need the right producer, and especially being together as partners. There's a lot of stress of it's a never-ending story. Maybe you want to enjoy your evening together, and there's still the festival between us.
There's like a third person in your family.
Exactly. The stress was about basically not knowing what to expect, how things will look like, and how people will respond until last minute. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit the biggest stress, and also not having a lot of experiences with organizing the festival.
Sure. And the business side of it, were you guys able to at least break even the first year?
No, that was also a little bit the downside, the disappointing side, let's say, for the first edition. Something that I forgot to mention, maybe, that this is not our job. We did this as a side thing. So I was working full time and did it as a company. So we did this as a side job.
It was a labor of love. You did it out of
exactly. So we did it because we wanted to do something and we really believed in it. So no, the first year we didn't. We didn't make any money, but that didn't stop us because we know how hard it is in the industry to start a festival from nothing and suddenly.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of guts to do it. I admire you guys very much, which I told you before. Now, there was a period, so when we met the first time in Ticket Swap, we were discussing a sponsorship. We started talking about this period between the two Tropikali. So it had been about 6 months after the first one, and okay, the next one's coming, we're gonna do it. You told me there was a moment, when we kind of kept quiet about Tropikali for a little while because we weren't sure if we would go for the next year, for the next edition. there was a trigger. There was a moment when you guys were like, "Oh fuck it, let's just go for it and do it." And it's your heart races again, and you're like, "Okay, here we go again." What was your catalyst that you guys looked at each other and said, "Let's do it"?
Yeah, definitely. After first Tropikali, even though it was it was a success, and we were really happy, we didn't want to talk about it for a while. We wanted just to, like.
Was it like in your house, like don't say the T word?
Exactly.
Okay,
it was the forbidden word. But then after a while we got excited again because mostly because of how people responded and how people were really asking when is the next Tropikali. So we got excited.
And you're like, we got to give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we created a monster. Now we have to deal with it.
Yeah. But that's a luxury. That's a luxury, right? To have that kind of demand and a fan base already. I'm certainly a fan. I know my friends are, but to really have someone say, "Hey, are you guys going to do it again? When is it going to be?" And then you start getting some momentum again.
Yeah, exactly. You learn from your mistakes, and then you get excited again. And I was actually there was a point that I was like, "Oh my god, I have so many ideas. I wanna start making stuff."
Yeah.
And
Was there in the planning of second Tropicali that you already knew you wanted to increase the number of tickets, that you wanted to increase the terrain size? Did you say let's go bigger? Because it was quite a lot bigger, and in the end, actually, you doubled the number of visitors. Or was this sort of like, let's see what we can do bit by bit, and then it grew incrementally bigger?
Well, we had a capacity because the Northern Lakes NDSM space is pretty big. But especially the second year, we were lucky to collaborate with FestiFest, which was another big festival on the day before Tropicali. So we shared the production costs, and they had like about 5,000 visitors. So the capacity was there. Obviously, we didn't take the risk to grow so fast. For us, it was already a big achievement to almost double the amount of visitors. So the capacity was there, and we took it as an opportunity to go bigger. And in fact, the second year stage that was initially like an inside small stage, we took it outside, which was totally we transformed in a real proper stage.
Yeah. I was actually, you kind of like stole my punchline because I wanted to mention the fact that you basically collaborated with the other festival. I think also for people who want to potentially organize something like this, it's not something I had thought about before, and I thought it's such a smart business move because if you can take a calculated risk, put your festival on behind another festival, you guys share costs on things like terrain space, security, infrastructure. So infrastructure being things like restrooms and water available and all those things, even the food trucks, I think.
Yes.
Whose idea was it, or is this something that came to you and it was like, hey, we can match the date, we can do it behind this festival? Did you approach the other organizers?
There is there's like a party committee that have to approve certain dates, and they need to be grouped in the same weekend. So we're lucky that we partnered with FestiFest. They have an experience they're there for a while. So a lot of things came with that package of sharing all the infrastructures and all the stuff for the festival. So yeah, that was that came with the deal of sharing with another partner. And Northern Lakes also is helping a lot. It's a big it's our big fan, and they kind of like us, and we also organize Kalinista there, so we have this collaboration going on for a while.
And I think you bring a totally new audience to that area as well. I mean, it's not new anymore because everyone is going to the parties now for a few years, but I can imagine there's also a lot of respect, I think, between you and Noorderlicht, which helps because they like the way you organize, they like you guys. So when you're there also with your crew, you see that people are really respecting the terrain and taking care of it. So they want you back each time, right?
Yes. Apparently we're seen as LGBT community as like a community that doesn't hurt the environment, that they're not too wild.
My Saturday night parties,
So yeah, we're lucky because maybe we don't play super hard techno music. I don't know. So we're
all about love.
Yes.
Nice.
That's what they think.
Yeah, okay, well, what they don't know. No, I'm kidding. Maybe to get into how this also became a success, because one of the things we have talked about is because you guys are behind the best social, basically, and you know what you're doing on social media. And I think I want to make this point. How did you plan this? Because you knew you were going to do something bigger, and what I saw, and I think what the whole community saw, was the interaction between everyone and Instagram and Facebook, and the production, everything was so much bigger the second year, and I think that really helped get you the capacity, the people that you need, and the tickets sold in order to make this success. How, I know you guys have tricks up your sleeves, but you pulled out all the stops on this one. How much would you say social really helped you get an extra, double the tickets sold?
A lot. We based all our campaign on social media. We did what we can do best. So, with our knowledge in social media and my background in design, we focus on campaign that can attract people. And also we give the right tools to people that doesn't feel too forced, like, hey, come to my party, but also like shareable content, engaging content. That's what I think people wants to see.
Yeah.
We curated our social media quite a lot, and we base everything on that, and that's how probably we we attract more people.
Yeah. I know we talked a little bit also about influencers. An influencer, to me, it doesn't have to be somebody with 10,000 followers, but I know that you guys also selected people in other cities, other major cities, who had maybe a really international friends group, or that you knew they were really people who like to go to certain parties, and you said, okay, these are the guys we're going to try to get up here. How did that work in terms of your approach? Were these friends of yours, or were they friends of friends, and then you said, okay, I want this one, let's make sure they come to Tropikali and they bring their crew?
Yes, some of them they were friends. Some of them they just liked our festival. They came the first edition and they wanted to collaborate. We like to call them more like ambassadors than influencers. There are people that really like our festival. It doesn't matter if they have a lot of followers, but they also have an impact in the real life. So they're really good in influencing their group of friends, and then that's how things can get bigger.
Yeah. So Ticket Swap, we study these personality types, right? We always go for the ones who. There's always one person in every friend group who makes the decision on the Friday or Saturday night, and it could be a guy or a girl, and it's like the one who says, "Hey, let's go to this club, or let's go to this party, or let's go to this show," and then they end up buying 5 tickets, and then they kind of push their friends into going. They're always the owner of their WhatsApp group as well. You notice that as well.
Yes, actually.
It's always that girl, Yeah,
that's
what are we doing tonight? I'll tell you what we're doing tonight.
That's correct. We were more focused on these people than the people that are posing with latte on their Instagram.
Although I will say this. I came back from the last Tropikali and showed my colleagues all of our photos, and they were just like, okay, my female colleagues just saw nothing but shirtless, extremely muscled hot men, and they're like, it's such a waste for me, like, to go look at all this.
That's not latte art.
No, that's true.
It's not our fault if the weather was so good that people couldn't keep their
It was
shirts
hot.
on.
Yeah, no, true. I sure didn't, but I see you pulled up our swap report. Maybe we can I don't want to plug it too hard, but just to say how we collaborated this year.
No, this is also a way to show how we like to, the social aspect of our parties. It's about music, it's about having fun, but we also like the idea of people talking to each other and engaging. So we came up with this idea together with Ticket Swap to create like a sort of like a analogic Tinder board where people could, leave each other messages and start flirting, and you know how it goes.
Here's my number. You have a nice ass. We have a lot of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fun to create something that is not too intrusive, like not just hey, look at us, we'll take a swap. It was a nice way to integrate a brand inside our brand.
I'm really happy you guys were open for it, and I think we both went into the discussion knowing we were not going to go put ticket swap billboards over Tropikali. That is totally a killer for the culture of Tropikali, but I think what we did with the slide branding was actually really cool. And then if you think about, well, what is the relationship? There are almost always tickets for their parties, for Lagnita and Kalanita and Tropikali on ticket swap. And we went through the history before this presentation. We've never had a single error on any single ticket that you guys have sold. Not one fraud, not one error. And that's a nice thing. That also means that when the fans of your parties put them up for sale, they're honest people, and the people who buy them really want to go. And to be honest, almost all the parties sell out. The smaller parties always sell out. So I think that also makes sense why we would collaborate on something like this, because on the business side, it works very well.
Yeah, that's also why we started a festival, because these parties, they were quite small and they were successful, always sold out. So we thought, let's make it on a bigger scale and attract more people. That was a little bit the trigger.
Yeah. On that, to attract more people, I see you already have a goal for the next Tropikali of 4,500 to 5,000 visitors, if you can pull this off. Is this still a labor of love for you guys, or are you now in it for the business?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out stuff, because here things are getting bigger, so you have more responsibility.
You can't kill it anymore.
Work. So we are figuring out how to do it in a more, let's say, professional way.
Sure.
And make sure that we have the right people working on this.
Yeah, for sure. One big last question for me. If there are any other young people in the audience or people watching online who say, oh my gosh, I would love to start my own festival. It's really difficult. Amsterdam's a hard place to start. You guys have done it. What would be your big advice for someone who just wants to get their first door open?
Follow your guts. So if you have an idea, just go for it. I would not take too many big risks. So start with a simple idea that you believe in it and just go. And if it's a good idea, things will happen sooner or later. So just be patient and try to just go for it. I mean, we had no idea. I mean, we knew what we wanted, but we had no idea about how things will turn around at some point. So it was really overwhelming also for us. Yeah, well, I foresee this continuing to succeed. I think what you guys have is a very unique recipe. It's a really special flavor that you added to Amsterdam. I could totally foresee Tropikali popping up in other cities. I mean, if you look at festivals like Digital, where you have Amsterdam and Barcelona and Tel Aviv, and you bring all kinds of cultures and you bring this message around the world, I think you could do it. Just saying. Not that if you want to or not, but I am super proud of you guys. And I'm also very, very pleased you came today to tell the story. Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this look in the other side of festival organizing. Let's open maybe, or do you have anything you want to add? Please?
Yeah, just talking about the future. Of course, we want to grow and have more visitors. We're also trying to attract more people from abroad. There's also a nice addition. And already this year we have quite some visitors from other big cities like Madrid, London, and Milan, and Brussels. So yeah, we see that this could eventually grow outside the Netherlands.
Yep.
So it's a good thing. Let me see if I have, this is a little bit to give an idea of our social media content. This was what I was telling about, the filter. Recently, a fan on Instagram started making face filters based on our artwork. And then people started using it and getting ready for Tropikali and sharing it. So that was a nice idea to extend our artwork, but not just a static image, but something that people can use.
I'm gonna go make a ticket swap mask right now.
Yeah, this was a little bit our influence, just to give you an idea. We wanted to focus on people who have an impact between also their group of friends. If you guys want to collaborate or you have some ideas, you can always contact us at info@tropikali.com. .nl. Yeah. And thank you for coming.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'd like to give Nicola a little hand for coming. So, if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask Nicola while he's here, please let us know. We have a throw mic that we can throw at you. Just throw a hand up in the air and we can talk to you. Anyone? No? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So hi.
Hi.
Just you mentioned that you were primarily then using social as your promotional tool. Was there anything other than just posting and making stories, and what did you do differently from any other festival online?
As I said, we kind of like try to not to be like one-way communication, but also like have a sort of like responding from response from the community. We offer assets that they could be easily shared, but not like in a super forced way. So, for example, we created this video that was simple, saying I'm going to Tropikali with the little edit of the festival, and people started sharing it and to let their friends know that they were going. But it wasn't like in a way they were inviting their friends, but not like just by saying, hey, come to. Yeah, a little more subtle. And I think also curating everything we did, even though social media has to be very quick, you need to react very quick. As a designer, I was really focused on every single details. I know that the devil is in the details, and probably at some point pays off. So to also deliver an inspirational, creative platform that people can also take as an example. That's I think what we did differently. There was not much other than that. I mean, other than social media. We did some poster firing for King's Day, but that was really like a super small thing.
Any other questions for?
Yeah, I got another one.
I can give you back the mic. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I guess it was the Best Social that was doing your campaigns, or?
We used some resources from the Best Social. Most of the stuff I did it myself, especially the first year in terms of design. But yeah, we used the knowledge of the Best Social for to produce content. So we know what works on social media, how to react and stuff. So we did that.
Yeah, I can maybe tell a little bit.
Yeah, you can also.
Yeah, because I think this is working.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had a quite aggressive advertising campaign, but also in a kind of subtle way, and we have a lot of knowledge for this, so we exclude people who saw it a lot or are connected to each other, and I think we did a kind of deep dive in a small community and then really advertise them a lot, like friends of friends and this kind of campaigns on Instagram stories. I think in a kind of smart way, so a little bit more than just showing the event to hundreds of thousands of gay people around the world, but have more targeting way that is kind of...
Is that generally the way to go? More focused?
We have a very specific target group and we would like to keep it that way. So we try to advertise as much to the target group that we really want to catch, and not just spread it all around the world and waste a lot of money on views that we actually don't even want to attract those people.
Yeah.
Also, we did quite some advertising abroad. So we directly started advertising in big cities all around Europe, not just Holland.
Because you were doing Brussels and Paris and Berlin?
No, I think we did Cologne, for example.
Oh, yeah.
We targeted people. We targeted people in Brussels, Antwerp, London, and just looked where was the success rate high. So where's the click rate high? Try to put more money there. It's small budget. I mean, it's a few €1,000, but we like to spend it really carefully. Like,
Yeah, of course.
not just throw it like, oh, let's do €1,000 here and just throw the views away.
Yeah, we wanted to focus on, actually it was a really niche target group because we believe that if you get those are the loyal fans, and then they stick with you rather than someone that maybe got attracted the first time and then they will never come again because they don't know what to expect, or maybe because they hate the music, they hate the vibes. And yeah, we rather focus on this group and of loyal fans.
Yeah.
A lot of people there also. We work a lot with our community, especially when you talk about music from Balkan, Middle Eastern. We're not from this country. They know better if they are from this country. They suggest the music, and we try to collaborate and see what works. And it's a nice way of interacting with our fan base.
Yep. Like you said, because they're so targeted, they become your ambassadors. So they're going to bring
That's
like for
correct.
like and the groups that you want for sure. Nice. I have one Turkish colleague. I played music that was playing at one of the parties through my phone. Well, one in particular that I sent him video of us dancing. Yeah, we have a lot of Turkish colleagues. Erkan, our favorite Turkish colleague. No, he laughed so hard and he said, "I can't believe you're in a party listening to this music, dancing to this." And I said, "You got to come over." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's too gay for me." And he said, "But I'm so tempted because it's such good music." And I'm like, "It's for everybody, Nirkan. You got to go." And he's like, "I might come with you next time." But I said, "Okay." It's opening minds every day. It's working.
December 7th.
Yeah. So I'm going to drag him there. Thomas is totally happy to go with me. So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, if you guys are curious about Kalinista, so the Balkan Middle Eastern music party, you can come on the December 7th, Noorderlicht.
And it's a really good boogie. And I love the winter parties because it's like cold outside and hot inside. So
yeah,
it's
dress light.
Yeah, just light. It's a lot of belly dancing and a lot of ass shaking, which is really different than techno parties. So I really enjoyed it a lot. And it's only smiles, so cool. Any last remarks? Any last questions? No? All right. Nico, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you guys were enlightened today and learned a bit new stuff about festival organizing and party organizing. I thank you very much for all the content you put together and the story you told. And I think, do you have time to hang out a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll be here. There's refreshments. There's croissant. And Nicola will be here and Dieter will be here. So if you guys want to have a one-on-one and grab them and ask some questions, you're welcome to. So
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy it.